So I started this project and I thought I might as well make a video about it because I cannot be possibly the only one dealing with this. This is a Vermont Casting fireplace that I have at my house. If you look at the back here, that's the exact model. So it's Defiant Encore 2190. And I started having issues recently with a smoke coming out of this area on either side. This problem would mostly happen when the damper handle is towards the back. At the moment, it is towards the front, meaning that it's a single combustion. When you move it towards the back, the damper flap closes and the stove produces more heat. And you're seeing that it actually closes. So when it opens, you're in full combustion, like a direct combustion to the chimney. When you close it, there's a double combustion mechanism that allows for the fireplace to gain more heat and heat up and gain in temperature. Well, when this is in this position lately, I've had smoke coming out of there on either side. And now, this is actually an air intake area, so it's normal that there is some flow there. I thought that at some point, the gasket might have gotten damaged, a similar gasket to what you have at the top here and around the windows and doors. But no, it's actually designed to be available for airflow. So I thought, okay, well, I might as well just take a look at it and see what's going on. So I took a door out already, and I wanted to point that out as well. These are very easy to take out. I wanted to clean the glass because it does get dirty over time. You lift the door up and pull towards you, and they just come off, right? It's very easy. Now, the glass is held by 4 clips. You can see them here. They're pretty burnt out. I'm gonna do some serious cleaning here. And then you can clean the glass. Obviously, this is also an issue, so that shouldn't be in this condition. I'm gonna have to replace that or do something about it. Same thing here. See, it's falling apart. Right, so that shouldn't be like that. And then I'm going to start looking at the back of the unit. So the back is out right now. This area is actually sitting at the top. So it's inserts in these openings right here. It's hard to see because it's pretty dark, but I'll show you a little bit later. And then there is the back plate that comes off as well. And taking this out gives me access to this thing, which is a combustor. Now this is supposed to be clean. I had a lot of fly ash actually accumulating in this corner. There's still some in this area that I didn't touch because I wanted to show on the video. And I'm gonna take the combustor out and see what's happening. It could be dirty, which would prevent proper airflow. So that could be part of the issues I'm having. I'm going to do an overall cleanup anyways. So a bit of a scrub, removing all the ash and see whether it makes a difference. But chances are it will. So let's continue working on this. So I'm going to take the combustor out in order to do this. From what I gather, so I've removed a lot of the ashes as well. This is pretty fragile, so you want to be careful because it is it is a little, it's kind of brittle and you don't want to break it. So I think, from what I gather, it comes in several pieces. There's one, see it's already broken here. So I'm going to take the ash out, but this has been taken out already, clearly. And there's this section here, which you have to lift up and out. And again here, there's quite a bit of ash that accumulated on the top. So that needs to be cleaned up. Shouldn't be like that, right? So I will have a little brush here that I'm gonna use, and it's gonna help me make sure that the surface is clean. Don't want to rub too hard because it is, like I said, a bit of a brittle material. Does break. It looks like it's some sort of a heat-resistant foam or something of that kind. I'm not sure what the material actually is. So I'm going to take this out. There we go. And we're going to set it aside. And then we're going to perform an overall cleanup of this area, because as you can see, there's ash here. Looks like there's another component here In fact, I don't believe this one is gonna come out. I think this is a piece that comes out from the back of the unit. So I'm not gonna be able to remove it from this side, but certainly all of this will have to be cleaned up, right? Now I'm seeing some solid debris as well, which looks like ceramic. Probably not exactly a good sign, but certainly there's a bit of cleanup that needs to happen here. So I'm gonna start doing this. I won't be filming, but oh, actually this is possibly one of the issues that I'm having. There is a grill, like a honeycomb grill right here, and it was covered in ash, right? So this, you should not have any debris here, okay? So make sure you clean this out nicely. It does actually, that section does come out. It does require a little bit of wiggling around to take it out from what I can see. But there was a mention about this in the manual. You have to pull it out straight. And it's damaged. Yeah, that's some of the issues I'm having with that thing. Look, there are pieces coming out. So this is likely part of the problems I'm having. I'm gonna need both hands to take it out carefully and safely. But this shouldn't come out in pieces, obviously. So we're gonna carefully remove the catalytic combustor. And like I said, it's very fragile, and there it is. So it's made of kind of a beehive structure. Here it's more of a grill, really. But every single hole should be empty and clear of debris. And clearly in this situation, that's not the case. I have a lot of ash in there, which prevents the air from flowing through it, which is the mechanism used for the stove to create more heat when you have the double combustion on. So this is, again, a sort of a cartridge here. This is the original one. Likely, I don't believe it's been replaced. It has probably been taken out and cleaned, but I think this is the original one. So that piece is probably close to 30 years old at this point, and it's available to be replaced. It's not cheap. It's about $250 to replace. But like I said, it's made of ceramic, so it's a pretty specific component. So we're gonna try to clear the holes as well as we can. I'm gonna use a little screwdriver and go through every single hole that's clogged to ensure that there is no ash in there. At the same time, as you can tell, there are some pieces of ceramic that are falling off. So I have to be very careful because it is very brittle and very fragile. So if you do choose to clean yours as well, just be mindful of that because it will likely come in pieces, right? So at the same time, I mean, if yours is beyond repair or if it's in just a very bad shape, you may choose to replace it. Now we're going to look at this section as well, remove all the ash, remove all the debris, and do a complete cleanup of this area. This pin is coming from the back. It attaches the refractory assembly to the back, so we're going to leave that alone. So let's clean that up. Okay, that looks good. We're gonna do the seal. Little brush. It's working really well, by the way. It's a little cheap brush. but it works fine for what we need here. I'm gonna try to collect as much as I can. So this is good to remove. I'm surprised about how much there is in there because I had it inspected not so long ago, and the inspector said everything's fine, we're good to go. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird because we did use it quite a bit at the time during the winter, and the fact that he said that there was nothing to do surprised me a little bit. I think actually there was a guy who came for the chimney sweeping at the time. So maybe he didn't know much about stoves, which I would be surprised about. But anyhow, he said that everything was fine. So that's what you do. You trust people, and yeah, you hope that they're actually honest and that they're not forgetting anything, or because the next thing you know, you run into issues and then you have more expensive repairs to do. So this is really kind of preventative repairs and regular maintenance you should be doing on your stove, assuming you can and you want to do it. But if you're not doing it yourself, you probably would want to get someone to do it for you, because it's just like any piece of machinery or your car even, or anything like that. You want to make sure that you keep everything in working order. And regular maintenance on a fireplace is no different than doing an oil change on a car, and that applies to a whole bunch of things. This looks pretty clean from what I can tell here. Just vacuum again. Make sure I remove everything. We're going to remove the side plate again here, and then we should be good to go to reassemble. Okay, so everything is clean. Very happy with that, actually. I think it was long overdue. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of the pieces back. So like this one. Not sure whether it should be bowing like that. It's not exactly flat, but I think this is an airflow system. So one thing that I just noticed, which you might want to be aware of, so you insert it from the top and then slide it in. Now there is a little piece towards the back here that I think there you go, should be sitting like that. So when you look at it, right there, this little bump here, that side, yeah, it's definitely, see, it's not sitting straight, so I'm gonna flatten it a little bit. It's a thin sheet metal, so it's pretty easy. Insert the top. And the bottom. Now this, again, is not sitting where it should be. There we are. I assume this is the way it goes. So you see there's like this double wall, and There's a space in between right here. So I'm gonna clean up the combustor first and make sure that everything is clean there. It shouldn't take too long. And then I'm gonna put everything back together. So let's work on this. Okay, so I was looking at the parts for this particular fireplace. Definitely, you know, I have access to the manual. There's quite a lot of explaining there in terms of the different parts and even like a full view of the different components. So the pieces I was trying to put back in place were 7 and 8. These are the little heat deflectors that go on the side. Number 10 is our catalytic block, right? So this is what that thing looks like, and that's exactly what it is, right? And it's not cheap. It's $200 on Amazon. That's in Canada. It looks a little bit different. This one is actually looks like it's made of. I'm not sure what it's made of really, but it cannot be. It's not cardboard, obviously. It's called a combustor, so it's ceramic. There we go. Yeah, it's written here. So. Which is what I figured. So the fact that it's crumbling in my unit is probably because it's old, and it probably will need to be replaced at some point. Now there's a whole lot of different parts as well. If I look at the list of parts here, this whole assembly that sits in the middle, number 9 here, is actually the refractory assembly body. And they do say in the manual, be careful if you do regular maintenance, because this is fragile, and we could tell that it was kind of crumbly in my unit as well. So definitely something you need to pay attention to if you do any kind of maintenance on that area of the stove. So the bottom line is that if I need to replace the unit, that's what I'm looking at. So about $200. Well, not too bad. I guess it's something you really don't replace that often at the end. I'm going to keep using mine. I'll clean it up nicely, and I'll continue working and reassembling the unit. All right, so I've cleaned this up. This is nice and clean now. All the holes are open, and it's as clean as I can clean it, really. So you can see how it's bulging, and the metal is completely out of shape here. Well, that's, yeah, and it shouldn't be bulging on the end either. I'm gonna use it anyways because I just don't want to have to replace it just yet. So I'll put it back there, and there we go. That's where it goes. Make sure that everything is good here, and then we're just gonna put everything back together. So we had this piece here, which is part of the refractory system. I'm going to clean this out nicely, make sure there's no ash in it. And it is quite fragile, as stated in the manual. Yeah, you really have to, if you use a little brush, make sure you don't put too much weight on that brush, because it is really fragile. Right? And this goes like that at the bottom. There we go. And then we have this part here that I also need to clean up a little bit. This one is broken already, so clearly it's been messed up with. And that goes right on the front, like so. There we go. So that's how it goes. Now everything is nice and clean here, so I think we're in good shape to put the back plate back on. I'm gonna clean it up as well. This is, when it comes to the heat deflectors, this one seems to be sitting much nicer when it's left of the little bulge, the little area that's raised. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. Both of them seem to be really well lined up, and everything seems to be fine here. I'm just gonna keep it that way. I'm gonna clean up the back plate and reinsert it into the fireplace. So that won't take long. It's a pretty heavy piece, so be careful. If you work off of whatever is the underneath your fireplace here, I do have a large piece of stone here, and obviously I wouldn't want to damage it. This is pretty heavy. I'm just gonna use my vacuum again. The same idea here. You're cleaning up using a little brush. This is the back plate, right? So it goes all the way to the back of your fireplace. There's a nice little decoration here. That's nice. I'd like to see that. And this piece is held with two little wedges, right? And I'm also going to clean up while I'm at it. And they're inserted. They're like this, right? These wedges. You'll see when I put them back how they go. It's pretty straightforward, really. There's some air that flows in this area here, and there's supposed to be a gasket. Look at that, it's all crushed. And on this side, it's like super flat. It's basically non-existent at this point. So I can't leave it like that. I have to redo the gasket here. I do have some gasket at, I do have some somewhere that you have to kind of look it at, remove the old one, obviously, and see how this actually just comes off, right? It's cooked, it's completely cooked. So, looks like I might not be able to reassemble it completely today because I'm not sure whether I have the right section of gasket for this. There was no gasket on this side, in fact, at all. So that's not the way it should be. On that side there is one, but it's completely crushed and cooked. So I can tell there was basically no maintenance done on this unit in a number of years. I know the previous owner of the house that I actually bought the house from couldn't barely change a bulb, so it didn't do anything. So clearly I wouldn't have expected him to do any kind of work of that kind on the unit or on the house for that matter. And so that, okay, this one's coming out nicely. Looks like there is like the in the groove here there is like an imprint of you know, the knitting of the gasket, because this is knitted, right? It's different fibers. Is kind of imprinted into the metal, which actually is pretty cool. But yeah, it's probably to prevent it from slipping. But you're supposed to use along with the gasket itself, there is the gasket caulking or glue or whatever you use it that actually allows you to install it so that it doesn't move, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit further. This is actually pretty clean. You can tell there's been quite a bit of airflow here, which is what you want. I'm gonna clean this out nicely, and yeah, I'm gonna go get a gasket kit. I'll see what I have here. I'm not sure whether I have the right section. I'll take a look. I probably don't. And once I'm ready and I have everything here, I'll resume the video. So again, this is an overall kind of a big maintenance, but probably something you want to have done once in a while. Make sure that keeps everything working smoothly. When you start the maintenance operation of your wood stove, it's not a bad idea to look at the owner's manual. In this manual, you will find a lot of precious information about how you're supposed to maintain your fire stove. And in my case, the manual also lists all the gaskets that are being used on my particular fire stove. And we will find the ones that we need here, along with the length of fiberglass rope, so the actual gasket that I will need to plan ahead for in order to perform these maintenance operations. Starting with the left door, right door, we're going to replace both of those. Then we'll find the lower fire back. That's the large plate that's at the back of the stove itself. There is also a gasket around the ash door, although I'm not replacing that one, but I might in the future to ensure that it's airtight. And you will find also at the bottom here the glass panel. This is a 3/16 when the other one's a 5/16 of an inch. So this is very important information, very useful for me when I had to order the gasket online. So take a look at the user's manual before you get started. All right, so continuing with the cleanup of my stove here, I'm gonna redo the gaskets. So this is all cooked and it's in really bad condition. I bought a kit from Canadian Tire. You can find this over there easily. It doesn't cost too much. This is basically what you would be using. The rope is available in different sizes and different diameter. 3/8, 6 feet worth of it, which is plenty. And you've got this little gasket as well, cement that you're going to be using to hold the rope in place. So we're going to need some here, here, all around. And from what I could tell, it really wasn't put on properly. So the reason why I didn't hold. So I'm going to make sure that this time it's done right. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to take out the glass because there is also a rope behind it. Now this is a different diameter. I don't have it here, so I'm gonna have to try to maintain it and keep it in one piece so that I can reuse it, because I wasn't even able to find it. This is much smaller of a diameter. This is probably about 1/4 inch, yeah, I wasn't able to find it. Now I wanted to touch on cleaning up the glass because you can see it's pretty dirty, and you might actually be wondering what is the best way to clean this up. And the best way that I found, which is actually something that you might have come across already on the internet, is actually using ash. So I have this ash here that I've removed from the stove. I'm going to be reusing this, and I'll show you how to do this. You just need water, you need ash, and you need a sponge. Now, there's a lot of other products that you can probably use, but this is basically all that you should have on hand. I'm going to be putting some water on the glass, and I'm going to just use an old sponge here and dab it into the ash. Make sure it's moist, right? And you're just going to rub on the glass. So this actually has a slight abrasive effect. And if you look at the way this is, it's very easy. I'm barely pushing down on the sponge here, and it's cleaning the glass nice and easy. So this will allow you to remove all the combustion marks, which sometimes can happen when the wood or whatever thing you're putting to burn is getting too close to the glass in the stove. So this is it. Then you just rinse and you're done. So it's very easy to clean up. Now, to remove the glass, in case you want to remove it, again, I'm going to take a look at it, make sure everything is good. It's also loose here. It shouldn't be loose like that. So I'm going to take out the screws and clean everything up. Make sure that it's nice and ready to go. You can also remove the glass if you want to clean it up really completely in your sink or whatever. But this is actually an easy way to do it as part of your regular maintenance, right? So I'm going to take out the screws. Not much to see here, although I will show you where the gasket is on the inside, so that in case you have to do it again or do it on your end, you'll be able to do it. Then we're going to move into reassembling the stove, since I have the gasket, and redoing the gasket on the back plate, on the back fire plate, and on the different components here, that being the doors. Actually, both doors are going to need some gasket here. Okay, so continuing with this, thought I might actually do a video to remove the glass. It really shouldn't be that complicated. I have an impact drill here, which might not even be required, but I thought I might as well. This is a Phillips bit, by the way. Okay, so the reason why I'm using the impact is, well, okay, that's interesting. This is a very, very short screw. Surprisingly short for that matter. So short, in fact, that it feels like it broke off, but it actually didn't. So this is the size of the screw. Very short. I'm gonna take a look at the other ones. I'm gonna clean these off. Yeah, this one is definitely longer. This one is long as well and was loose. The glass behind there was actually dirty as well, so I'll be able to use it. Yeah, they're all the same size, so very short screws. And in this one now. So the glass now should come off. Okay, so now in theory, you see the gasket here is off as well. I'm gonna probably go and clean this up. So the glass is treated, right? So you gotta be careful not to break down. And for this, for some odd reason, the gasket was not really used with the cement. You're supposed to put cement so that it holds in place. For some reason, it didn't get used this way here. So I'll clean all this up. See, and you can actually see, if you do have issues with smoke coming out of your stove or fireplace where it shouldn't, well, that could be because this, yeah, see, this is all, it's quite damaged actually. Oh, it just snapped. So it's in you know, it's in rough condition. If you don't have any replacement gasket like that, you might want to make sure you source some before you start this project. I didn't do it because I really, I didn't check actually what was the diameter of this one. So now I'm kind of screwed. I'm gonna have to reuse that for the time being at least, since I don't have any gasket of that size. But I'm still gonna try to clean it up the best I can and put it back in place. But clearly this gasket is completely cooked, right? It's crumbling. See, it's literally crumbling. Look at that. I just made dust of it when it really shouldn't be that way. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up nicely. And yeah, we're gonna move forward with that. I'm gonna use a piece of like a rag basically to clean up the glass. Actually, I'm just gonna go clean it up in the sink real quick. Okay, so my glass is clean. It's not perfect, but certainly better than it was, so that's good. I'm gonna reuse this once I actually find the proper diameter. I will replace it, which is pretty straightforward. And then I'm going to be using some cement. Right now, I just need this to hold in place. Hopefully, it's strong enough still to allow me to do that. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. Okay, it's really hard not to do it right when you don't have cement to hold it in place. Not holding well, but it's holding enough to put the glass back on. There we go. So the glass is on. You can actually even push the gasket from the outside with I don't know, a screwdriver or something of the like. If you use a flat screwdriver and push the gasket where it's supposed to be, all the way to the edge. Definitely not super easy, but it's working. Just to make sure it's in the right position, because once this is done, you can put the clips back on. I'll be careful with the clips because they're a little damaged, but they're not damaged actually. They're just you know, stained by the smoke. Okay, that's one. You really don't want to tighten this too much. It is glass, right? So you gotta be careful. Number two. So I now have a gap here, which is not ideal. But again, this is not a huge deal because I'm going to be replacing it anyways in the near future. There we go, number two. And for that piece is actually threaded too. So this one is threaded, that one is obviously threaded, that's the attachment hole. So I'll show you how to do this because you want to make sure that this is tight. And if the two holes are threaded, this is not WD-40, but it's a deep creep. It's a penetrating lubricant. So I think this is going to help tremendously. Yeah, so this is threaded and that is threaded. So what does that mean? That means that this part here, when you're gonna be tightening this screw, that end here is going to screw in the door, and the space in between will remain, since you know when the screw is going to go fundamentally through this piece here and then screw into the door. So you need to leave some spacing that's probably about the same as what you have on this side, right? See how this actually, there's a gap there. Well, we're going to leave a similar gap on this side. So I'm going to let it out about 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to screw this in the door, and I should be good. So I'm going to put this here. So insert it to the right first, then screw it on this side. Yeah, now it goes in. I can actually screw it in by hand, which is what you want. And there we are. Now this is good. That side is good too. The clip is held in place. So that door, the glass operation is technically done, right? It's not super clean. I wish I could actually clean this a little bit better. I'm gonna leave it like that. I might revisit the topic when I'm done with when I actually have the gasket. For now, I'm gonna do the exterior gasket, and for this, I'm gonna use this, right? So I'm gonna cut that open. Okay, so I've got the rope, which is presumably 6 feet long, which is way more than I need. And this is pretty solid, right? And see how flexible it is, like it doesn't crumble. It's nice and soft. So that's what you want, right? This is the new one. Okay, so I've prepared the door here. The way you do it is you cut your sections of rope to fit in the groove, and then you use the cement, which is kind of a cyanoacrylate, like a CA type of cement, and you apply a thin layer in the groove all along. So I've put a little too much here. The reason why I'm kind of spreading it out. But the way you do it is with this particular kit, because it could be different than yours. You apply a thin coat of cement in the groove where the joint is going, the gasket is going, and then you let it dry for 10 to 15 minutes, right? And once this is kind of tacky to the touch, then you can install the you can install the gasket, right? So I'm gonna wait for this to become tacky as instructed, and I want to make sure that it's spread out correctly. I anticipate part of it is gonna evaporate anyways, if it's kind of a CA type of adhesive, and then I'm gonna install the gasket. Let's wait a little bit.
15 minutes later.
Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. Definitely on the surface here of the adhesive, of the glue, of the cement they call it, it has become more tacky, so I think we're good to go here. I will apply this, and what the instructions said on this particular bottle of cement is that you press it down in place. So, taking the door, you insert it from the top first. And then at the bottom. And you just close it. By closing it, it's going to squish the gasket in position. What concerns me here is that it's not closing. It's probably because the gasket is pretty thick, and I'm going to take the old one out on the other door. There we are. Now it closes. Take this out. I'm going to leave it in position for a little while, and then I'll do the other side once this is cured.
The next morning.
Okay, so we're going to take care of the second door. It's pretty straightforward, same process as the other one. I do have some new rope this time. This is 5/16. This is 3/16. Right? Got that off of Amazon. So what I will do here, so I got this one, which is actually, it should be 5/16. So I've looked at the manual. The manual is pretty clear on this, which is nice. I'm just gonna stretch it out a little bit so that the diameter reduces. And this is 3/8, which is 6/16, right? Normally it is 5/16 for the doors and for the back plate. So I'm just gonna use this, since I used the first one on the first door and it fits fundamentally, I'm gonna use this one for the second door so that it's consistent. And actually for the left door, the length of rope that's stated in the manual is 4 feet, and for the right door it's 3 feet. And the reason is that there's an overlap in the middle where the doors actually close, and there's only one layer of rope that goes in there. It should be on the left door. I put it on the right. There was a groove actually on both doors, so there was no way for me to tell. But I will be leaving it the way it is right now. Here, this door actually does have a groove, but the groove actually is on the other side. I'm not sure whether it's designed to receive a piece of rope to begin with, but the groove here goes around here and then there, and then stops up here, right? In fact, I'm just gonna remove that. This is all dried out. This is what you can, how you can tell that this is dead is that it just breaks off like that, right? So that rope is cooked, literally. So I'm gonna use my vacuum, scrape the whatever is left of the previous rope, clean this up nicely, remove also the rope that goes behind the glass. And if you remember, the rope on the other door was also cooked. I was meant to replace it. I was waiting for the replacement one, which I do have now. And I have about 10 feet worth of this, which is plenty. So I'll remove that, the glass and everything, and go through the cleaning of this door. So let's do that now. Okay, I was concerned about that. This is going to be a problem. One of the screws snapped. So technically I have enough to hold on here. That's the reason why using the little penetrating oil would probably be suggested before you do that. So before I remove the two other screws up there, I'm gonna take the glass out. I'm gonna go clean it up, and this is done. Oh, it's actually, oh no, it's breaking off too. Thought I was in okay condition, but it's not. And I'm gonna put some penetrating oil here and here, hoping that it will collaborate. So for that screw, I'm gonna have to probably drill it. I might leave it like that though, because it's I might wait for the spring. Right now I kind of need my my stove, my fireplace. Okay, so that came out good. And that one came out good too. This is a pretty dirty thread. So it is holding, however, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But ideally I would retap them. But right now I'm just going to continue with what I have here. Good. So I'm going to go clean up the glass and I'll come back. And actually what I'm going to do right now is scratch this a little bit, because I'm going to put the adhesive. Yeah, I'm going to put the adhesive, the cement, and it needs to cure for about 10-15 minutes before you can actually put the rope on. So I'm going to do this right now. Okay, so I've reassembled the glass on the door. The adhesive is still curing. It's still very liquid. I did put quite a bit on it, so I need to wait for this to become tacky to the touch. So it's not ready just yet. And what I'm going to do is set this aside for now. And if you ever need something to actually clear the glass, I would recommend you use this Vim with a regular sponge. It actually works really well to remove the burn marks on the glass. That actually worked out really well. My sponge with some Dawn was not really taking everything off, so adding some Vim really helped. And now we're going to look into the fire back, which is pretty heavy and also requires a rope to be put around. And for this, I'm gonna put the one that I'm supposed to use, which is this 5/16 rope. And so we just have to cut it to length. I'm gonna put some adhesive, and yeah, we'll be in good shape. The beauty of this section in particular, is that Once it's done, once I put the rope on it and position it, I will put it straight back in there. So, and I'm going to put the wedges back on, and it should be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to wait for this one to dry out. In the meantime, I will replace the rope, the glass rope this time, on that door. The good thing is that the rope actually is holding really well. Yeah, oh wow, okay, it's holding really well. I did put some deep creep last time, so I shouldn't need to worry about breaking the screws this time. Up the glass. Leave it there for now. Remove the old rope. This one was crusty. This one was not holding anything anymore. Okay, that looks actually pretty clean. I'm not gonna put adhesive for this rope, simply because I don't think I need to. Probably should, but I'm just not gonna do it. I didn't do it for the other one. I'll show you a little tip. So make sure you put it right in the corner there, and don't stretch it when you put it down. Just put it right in the corner, right in the angle, right in the bend. Because if you pull on the rope and stretch it, it will have a tendency to bounce back. Good. Put the glass back on. The rope did move on this side. So the key here is on that side, it's very easy, but as you press down on the glass, you just go and from the other side, you push it inside, right? So I'm gonna just attach those, which will help put some pressure on the glass. So the reason why you don't want to tighten everything super hard just yet. You want to give a little bit of room for the glass to move around, right? So here, same thing. See, you squeeze your fingers in the back. It's a little tricky here because there is not much space, but that way that allows you to really place the rope where it's supposed to be. There's something here. I don't know why there's on both doors, there's a clip that's shorter than the other ones. I'm not sure why. Not a huge deal, but this product that I'm putting on is very flammable, so any vapor will just burn away on the flip. Okay, perfect. So see how it's out of line here? It shifts outside of the groove. So I'm just gonna flip the door around, and here just move it back where it's supposed to be. And it goes in pretty easily because it is a pretty short section, a pretty small section of a rope. You can use a screwdriver if you want. It's gonna slide in place naturally. So this one is technically done. You can also tighten them by hand if you feel more comfortable. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, so that one should be pretty close to being ready. I will put this back here before I forget. Okay, and then press it down into its groove so that it sticks to the adhesive. And ideally, what I'm going to do here is put the door back on, ensuring that the rope is where it's supposed to be, and close it, because that's the best way to ensure that this stays in place, is to leave it in the closed position. There we go. I got a nice little cushion here. And I'm going to close the other door. Hopefully I can close all of this now. Should be able to. Yes. It's a little tight right now because the rope is not really squeezed all the way in. Yeah, so let's deal with that one. That one I'm gonna have to put back in place fairly quickly. There we are. That one is good. So for the back plate, I really want to put this in place now. So this goes to the top. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Okay, so we're going to open up the doors, put the back plate where it belongs. Yeah, once it's in place, it's going to squeeze the rope in place, right? So the gasket will automatically seal. And actually, as per the instructions, the adhesive will actually finish curing as you make fire in your stove. So it's you know, we're just in the early phase here. So we're gonna take it and wedge it in. So it goes in, you engage it from the bottom, so you have to put it in first, get it into the stove, which on its own is not that easy because it's pretty heavy. Once it's engaged at the bottom, let it sit and just put it forward. There we are. And once it's there, you'll need to put the wedges. So I got my 2 wedges here, right there. Just let them slide in place on each side. And they should go down quite a bit. They're really not going down that much right now because I got a new gasket. So I'm just gonna hammer them a little bit. And I will probably reposition them a little bit later, but this is technically it. I mean, the position of that wedge is definitely better than the other one. You can't quite see it on the other side, but now we have one additional thing that we need to put back. Move the camera a little bit. It's difficult because it's right in the top area. So up here, I'm gonna have to take the camera out. Up here you have 2 little hinges, right on this side, one on that side. And this is where that piece goes. So again, I'm going to try to show you, because all these pieces are pretty heavy, and this is the flap right here, right? So you engage it on one side, and then you slide it up and you move it to the other side. Okay, so let me try to show you what's going on here. There are two little grooves. There's a, like this, it's not a groove really, it's kind of a, oh, no, it raises, right? And the sides of this have to go over this. And right now the problem I have is that I can't quite pass the bump on this side. And that's because the back plate is probably not providing as much clearance as it once did. Okay, so I got a big screwdriver here that I'm gonna use to try to get this further in. And by putting it further in, I'm gonna wedge put the wedge further in as well. This is gonna push the plate further back, and that should provide me with the clearance I need to reinstall it. There we are. Okay, good. So, trick is to ensure that the wedge is all the way in, because that's going to be a bit of an issue here. You wedge here, and you see the wedge just came down, right? Because you're basically compressing the, see how the wedge is coming down when I do that? And it came all the way down. So this is where you want it, right? On this side, it was a little less problematic. The wedge was already pretty deep in. Can try that again, but no, it's not moving in. So we're in good shape here. The flap is back in place. It's not moving, that's great. And yeah, so it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna close the doors for the night. The job is technically done here. I'm gonna put it back on the tripod. There we are. I will put this back on as well. So these just go like that. There's a little washer. It goes in front or on the back, I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't really make a huge difference. And oops, this goes the other way. Okay, there we are. And I'm gonna close the doors one last time for today. Okay. And let it sit overnight. If I can find the handle, which is right here. There we go. So it's a little tight at the beginning because everything is new. And see, there's rope right here. So that's gonna get in the groove on this side. There's no rope on this side. I'm gonna put a little bit of, I said I would put a little bit of the shorter one right on that side here. See, there are two gaps right there, here and here. So I'm gonna cut a little piece of rope, put it there so that it covers the gap, top and bottom. It's really not great because whenever you cut that rope, okay, and then close this nice and tight. It's really tight right now, but it's gonna be easier over time. Okay, and this is basically it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that for now. Wait for the rope to compress and crush in place a little bit. We'll see how that goes tomorrow. Probably not a perfect job because I didn't have the right diameter for the rope. 3/8 was a little too big. Yeah, you can see the difference. Actually, there is a significant difference between the two. This is 3/8, this is 5/16. So this is 6/16, this is 5/16. There's definitely more than 1/16th of a difference in between these two. I hope this was helpful anyways in the way you do that kind of stuff. Not too complicated, you just have to be methodical. If you have any questions or comments, again, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you. So the maintenance is now completed. I have reinstalled everything, and I actually also replaced the fiberglass cord on that door, simply because the one that was installed was simply too thick in comparison to the one that I was supposed to use. If you compare the two, I was actually having a hard time closing the doors, and the right door is still kind of difficult to close, but it does close. So I'm gonna replace it probably in the near future. It's working beautifully, better than ever, in fact. The door with the double combustion is working well. The door was working well, but the double combustion was not working that well, and now it's working beautifully. There's no smoke whatsoever that used to come out of this space right here. There was a vent there. There was smoke, there was backdrafting. This is no longer the case. The little oxygen or air intake on the right, this is also working beautifully, and right now it's just radiating heat like never before. Definitely was worth it to do it. I might just make a habit of doing it once a year. I hope this video was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you for the next one. Bye.